I can finally tell you guys the reason why I have sort of been hiding from the internet, even on my personal Facebook and stuff. I haven't really been doing much. And it is because I didn't want my mom or any of my family to find out through a secondary source that I'm pregnant. So there's that. It was on purpose. It is with my husband, and we don't know the gender. I'm about 9 weeks as of today, which is September 22nd. And yeah, so I've been feeling fucking miserable. If you've ever been hungover, it feels a lot like that. If you haven't been hungover, it feels like a combination of like when you're really nervous and stressed out and your stomach is just like, I'm churning and I would accept 0 foods. Blah. And also being like super exhausted. And so that's what I've been up to, is I have been like throwing up and sleeping and having no excuse that I could give anyone for why I'm not friggin' doing anything. But now I can give you my excuse. Ha 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 ha. So yay, babies. I went to go into work today and they were like, you're not on the schedule. So I came home and slept more. So smeared makeup is not necessarily out of the question. You may have also noticed my sweet new chair. It rolls. It was, hold on, $9.99 at Thrift Town. Which I was just gonna go buy casters to put on my throne, because I love my throne. But to be honest, casters are like good ones are like $10 a piece. So instead of spending $40 to make my throne roll, I spent $10 and got this. And it's squishy. It leans back. I like that. And the height's adjustable. The height is adjustable. So it's a lot easier to get my knees under this little built-in desk. Since the built-in was probably built near when our house was, which is in like the 40s or 50s. I think people had smaller legs back then. All right, moving on. I'm back. We have entry 66 right here. It opens with a tongue sticky out face. That's how I'm feeling. I'm feeling blah. Dear Diary. I'm supposed to have a high IQ, but I was only tested in 1st grade, and now I'm in 7th. I'm getting 2 F's and a C. There's so much pressure. Sigh. Maybe I should go to an all-girls boarding school or something. I mean, any dum-dum can say E equals MC squared, but do they know what it means? I'm one of those dum-dums. Look at my handwriting. Sincerely, Greta. So we have a few other sad faces. This is how I feel about my 2 F's and a C. It is true that at this point my handwriting is not very good. At least I knew that dumb had a B on the end by this age. You know, I'm really glad I didn't go to an all-girl boarding school, but it definitely would have helped with my attention span, because as we have discussed, I was born with fiery loins. I don't know. If I have a daughter, I hope that she's not as concerned with whether or not boys like her. I mean, I'm not saying I would want my future daughter to be a lesbian, but I do want any future daughters I have to smash the patriarchy. Hand in hand with their male allies. But also hand in hand with their female allies, because let's face it, most ladies don't have enough lady allies.
Chips and salsa.
I can eat in my YouTube video. Why? Because no one can stop me. I'm home alone. I should be at work. My husband does this thing where he eats salsa in such large quantities at a time, that he insists on buying pace. Not because it's subpar, which it is. If you're in Texas, there's so many local salsa companies. But because it's so cheap per ounce that he doesn't feel bad when he, like, scoops up half a jar and is like, ah. Maybe if Pace made a black bean and corn salsa, I could get on the Pace boat. But even then, I'd rather buy it from, like, I don't know, like the adorable people that come into the cafe I work at and are like, carry our salsa. And we're like, okay. I'll show you a picture of my tiny baby. I'm growing a baby. Put it on the tack board. So we got some of them. Instead of typing the word baby, we got some of them so they said the beast within. That's what we've been calling it. It's that really, really bright spot right there in that little kidney bean shape. That's totally the heartbeat. When this was live video, it was like going dark, going bright, going dark, going bright, going dark. And they're like, that's you can see the heart beating. And then they were like, you want to hear it? And I was like, well, yes. It was like a little birds, all fast. Which the internet assures me is totally normal. But yeah, I'm going to a couple of midwives. I'm gonna squeeze out a baby. I'm gonna try to raise it to be socially conscious and aware and independent and badass. I'm glad to be back doing this. I'm gonna eat more salsa and try to do a few more. Cause I'm off tomorrow too. I hope my employer isn't suddenly cutting my hours because I'm pregnant, because that shit's illegal. Once the next entry is done, it will be linked right over here. Boop. And you can click on it. And it will take you to Crystal Star Chains and Sparkle Dust. A pseudo-poem. And then more regular entries after that. Whee! Okay. Yeah, so thank you for watching Dear Teen Diary and enjoying it. Mwah! Ha ha! Nah. Bah.